What's up, ninjas? So I've just installed Devin Desktop and I'm going to give it a spin for the very first time. So I've actually already used Devin to run a session, and the way I've done it in that is I've set up epics inside of a Kanban board within GitHub projects and given it some instructions on how to operate these things. And so Epic V1 is done. Epic V2 was completed recently. However, I have reviewed it, and you can take a look at that here. It's done a recording, and you'll see here, this is actually a video file that Devin has recorded from finishing V2. I didn't like that these fields were here. They were supposed to be here, right, in this game that I've made. So really, like, it's actually pretty amazing that I even get a video recording. It saves me the effort of having to manually test it. That being said, I do want it to actually do something different. So instead of going back and continuing my session within the Devin app, right, the web app, I am going to go to Devin Desktop and give it a spin for the first time. It just launched today, or overnight my time. And here we go. So I'm going to open up the same session, right? And let me just get used to this over here. Right, okay, so it's loaded up the same thing that you saw in the web application. And it looks like the user interface is slightly different. Like this was previously here. And yeah, okay, let's just continue with this over here. Now, I'm going to record a message to tell it what to do. So, hi Devin. In the V2 Epic, I have reviewed your video recording, and I see that the equation for y is equal to mx plus c has replaced the coefficients, the m and the c, with underscores, and then the input fields, i.e. the text box, where you're supposed to type in those values, they are separate. Instead of this, like separate location in the UI, instead of this, I would like to have those text boxes overlaid in the equation. In other words, instead of seeing the underscores, the text boxes should be in line with where the underscores were. So you type the coefficients directly and you see the complete equation. In terms of actually displaying the names of the coefficients or the underscores, that's not necessary. So to be crystal clear, you should see y equals text box x plus text box. Could you please make this change through a new ticket and add it as a bug fix ticket under the V2 Epic, please? So let's use Whisper. So it consistently calls Devin. Why is it MX plus? Gotta type. All right. So I have finished typing the my new command. Now Devin is currently asleep, so I'm going to trigger a run on that. And I should mention, Devin charges not only by token cost, but also by um, agent compute units. So I'm trying to optimize for that by saying go to sleep while I review it, so that I don't get charged for the VPS server, sticking around while just waiting for me to look at things. Okay, so far I'm liking that it has seamlessly tapped in. Like you can see over here, if I go to work log, I should see this thing flashing with stuff changing over here, but let's see how it goes. Yep, that's actually happening. So in terms of the user experience, I'm not sure what this thing is about, but I wish that I could see both like the tabs as well as having the chat like this, but this has sort of two chats at the moment. Let me just explore this. Okay, that's didn't do it. Um, yeah, maybe if I just do this. Nope. All right, I just get one tab at a time. It'll probably take me a while to figure out the user interface differences between Devin Desktop and Devin's web app. Yeah, I'm liking the fact that there is no like sort of delay or lag, that the desktop app and the web app are simultaneously churning through the same thing. Yeah, so you can see the chat messages here and the chat messages here are pretty much the same. All right, I'm assuming now it's recording the video now. That's right. Yeah, it was a small issue earlier, but should be now it's more problematic. That's great, actually. I was half expecting it not to pick up CSS issues, but I think that's the benefit of having image recognition and recording a video. That's something that other coding agents, don't really ship with out of the box. Yeah, it genuinely is, within a few hundred milliseconds of each other, Devin Desktop and Devin web app. If you take a look at it, what it's outputting. Yeah. I think I still prefer this layout. I can see the tabs and the chat in two separate columns. This one, I only get the chat, um, and I don't get to see, the files as it's running. I would like to have a work log tab. Let me see if I can find that. And that's a new conversation. But I don't see a tab. Maybe it's over here. Right. Not here either. All right. It looks like CSS positioning is giving it a run for its money. All right. Looks like it has managed to solve it almost. It's still getting clipped off at the edge, but that's workable. And I like that it was smart enough not to actually record a video. It just started that process, saw what it was happening on screen, and then said, "Nope, this is not right," and just goes ahead and does it. Yeah. So this feature where Devin spins up a non-headless, i.e., one with an actual visual display, and is able to do that, that's excellent. And also has a smarts like when it should record a video and so on. And yeah, it's run the test automatically, even though I haven't explicitly told it to do that. That's great. Excellent. It's got it working again. I wish I could see usage over here as well. Great. Its mathematical reasoning ability is good as well. All right, stop the recording. Let's see if it remembers to go to sleep as per the original instruction. It says, then go quiet while you review the video. So it looks like it's cleaning up at the moment. So it stopped the dev server. That's great. But the Devin VPS is still running. And that's updating these tickets. So you can see here, this ticket it created, and that should move to in review now. All right, so it didn't quite remember the go to sleep instruction, so I'll tell it to do that explicitly. Yeah. I wish the sleep button was here as well. Okay, so now it's asleep and I'll watch the video again. Actually, let me do it in the desktop. Aha! That seems to have triggered what I wanted to do, right? So now it's opened up stuff in the left panel, which was sitting relatively idle. All right. Excellent. I really like this how it annotates exactly what it's thinking or trying to do. So it's like it's kind of an end-to-end test, but in a very Devin specific way. So it's like if you actually have end-to-end tests, these are additional end-to-end tests, like human or manual end-to-end tests, except that it's done by an AI. That's got to be like my favorite feature of Devin at the moment. All right. Just double checking that it's still asleep. Okay, so now what I'm going to go to here, right? And I'll open up this one. This is the issue, and I'll say it's okay, right? Okay, so maybe what I'll do is right here in Devin, I'll say, "Hi Devin, ticket number 68 for the bug fix that you just completed looks great. Please mark it as completed, and I have therefore also completed my review for the V2 Epic So please mark the entire V2 epic as done, and you may start churning through the epic for V3. Thanks. Ah, it finally got Devin correct. First time I've seen it whisper say Devin instead of Devon with an ON. All right, so let's wake Devin up. And so this will be like we just saw one single ticket in action. Let's actually take a look at what happens in the Kanban board when Devin starts doing its thing, right? So you should see this go into in review, and then subsequently everything here, including this, will go into done. Yep, excellent. That's exactly what I expected. Yeah. So it's using the personal access token that I gave it access to for GitHub, and that was scoped to specifically only give it project board access. So it doesn't actually have access to the directory itself. It's actually doing that intrinsically using git commits. Aha, I gave it an instruction to merge this PR. So I need to merge V2. So I'm going to tell it to stop, actually, because I'm going to stop missing without a repositories. Got a pull requests, and I will merge this. Merge pull request, confirm merge. All right. Excellent. So I was expecting to have to type continue or something, but it looked like it was sitting there. Devin was sitting there and waiting for something to happen, and a webhook must have fired. It was listening to that webhook, and it realized that it was doing its thing.